Deputies say a Mercer County burglar was caught on camera by someone he was trying to steal from.
We'll tell you how the state's new anti-heroin law will help those that are addicted and further punish traffickers.
It's finally feeling like spring, but Old Man Winter gets ready to punch his way back into Kentucky. We'll track his progress with the hour-by-hour outlook coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. An alert today for people living in parts of Mercer County. The sheriff's office is warning homeowners about a man trying to break into homes.
Deputies say the man has tried to get into 3 homes already. So far, each case has been north of Harrodsburg within this shaded area. In one case, a homeowner scared off the intruder after he got inside her home. WKYT's Victor Puente is tracking the investigation in our top story at 5:30.
Yesterday saw 3 different attempted burglaries here in Mercer County. Deputies tell me it's possible the same man was behind all of them. This is one of the pictures taken yesterday afternoon on Ott Elliott Lane. Police say the man driving this SUV had forced his way inside.
Entered through the back door and then exit when he realized that somebody was home.
The woman inside took 2 pictures of the man and his vehicle as he was leaving. It was one of a couple of stops they believe he made yesterday.
About 30 minutes before that, we received a call, our sheriff did, that across town, another subdivision, vehicle the same description, matched around a home and left too.
That was at this home in the Fountain View subdivision. The man who lives there told me his wife caught a man trying to break in, and the man left in a silver SUV. The people living at this home on Hudson Lane told me they also had someone try to force their way inside. Police say the man seems to be targeting sizable homes.
So we don't know if it's local or someone driving them down the road.
Deputies tell me that SUV appears to be a 2010 Suzuki XL7. They say it could be something else. They don't want to rule out any vehicles until they've identified a suspect. In Mercer County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Investigators say the burglar is a white man with a slim build and tan complexion. He was wearing a bright green or yellow coat.
Police continue to search for 2 inmates who escaped from a jailer earlier today in Lee County. State police say the jailer was transporting Dallas Trent and John Trent from a court appearance in Wolfe County back to the Three Forks Regional Detention Center in Lee County. The jailer told state police that a vehicle slowed down in front of him, and when he slowed down, the 2 inmates jumped from his moving vehicle. The 2 thieves are accused of robbing a Shell station in Campton. We'll have more on the manhunt for the escapees on WKYT News at 6. Temperatures surging into the 70s today, but it's not going to last.
And it's a nice day today.
Yeah.
Big changes are on the way. We could go from storms to snowflakes tomorrow. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking it all in the First Alert Weather Center. Chris?
Yeah, yesterday we were kind of kidding. Only one way to go from the gloomy, chilly conditions that we had 24 hours ago. That was up. Well, when it's this nice, this early in the season, really only one way to go from here, and that's down in the opposite direction. Beautiful sky in Lexington, Hamburg Pavilion in the distance, and it kind of looks like May out there, and it feels the part with temperatures into the 70s this afternoon, right on cue, on a gusty southwesterly wind at around 14 miles an hour, getting the occasional gust greater than 20, 25 to 30 miles per hour, all in a beautiful March day here in Kentucky. Now, something when you see temperatures crank up that warm, you got to watch for will be showers and thunderstorms. Nothing is out there now. Don't anticipate anything this evening. Tomorrow, that'll be a different ball game as we track showers and thunderstorms in from the west and southwest. Right now, rain is kind of blowing up across the show me state of Missouri. Farther to the south, you get into greater instability. Severe thunderstorms a problem from Oak City into southern Kansas, southern parts of Missouri and Arkansas. All of that is likely to stay to the west of the Bluegrass State tonight. Some of that may creep into far western Kentucky. Obviously, not really going to impact our weather into the rest of the state. So weather headlines as we roll forward. We are tracking that cold front into town for Thursday. That means some big time changes. Showers, maybe a rumble of thunder at some point tomorrow, those gusty winds. And wintertime begins to creep back in behind that front. Guys, we go from springtime early tomorrow to that wintertime forecast for late in the day tomorrow and especially tomorrow night. We'll pinpoint what that means for your Thursday with the hour-by-hour temperature forecast just minutes away from right now.
An eastern Kentucky road is completely blocked by a rock slide. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Perry County. State highway workers say around 6:30 this morning, a massive boulder slid from the top of the hill and came crashing onto Big Willard Road. It happened not far from Willard Elementary School. The rock shattered pavement and blocked traffic in both directions. There's no word yet on when the road will be cleared and repaired. In Whitley County, schools held a moment of silence this morning to honor a young student who died in a horrible accident. 10-year-old Jonathan Chatham died Monday when a school bus hit him on Kentucky 779. As students returned to school today, the district took time to help his classmates deal with the tragedy by holding a moment of silence. The school district will have grief counselors on the bus as well as at Whitley North Elementary for as long as the students need them. Chatham's visitation is tomorrow night. His funeral will be Friday afternoon. Both will be at Crowley Funeral Home in Williamsburg. And in Pendleton County, a former police chief has been indicted following an internal investigation. Mark Posey resigned as the Falmouth police chief last month. This week, a grand jury indicted him for theft and abuse of public trust. He's accused of taking more than $10,000 in funds from a drug task force account. He's also charged with soliciting donations from local businesses for drug cases and keeping them. Posey faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted.
We've done many stories about the problem. Today, the governor signed a bill designed to fight the heroin problem in Kentucky. It includes a provision that would keep people from being punished for reporting overdoses and tougher penalties for the dealers. Sam Smith has details from the state capitol.
This bill signing has lawmakers excited. They've been working on this for a long time, and they're looking forward to what this means for the state.
One message goes out to the heroin traffickers in Kentucky. We're coming after you. We're going to put you out of business, and we're going to put you in jail. To the thousands of Kentuckians who are addicted to this terrible drug, we're coming to help you.
Traffickers now face stiffer penalties, especially if heroin is transported across state lines. More money is allocated for addiction treatment. There's also an item that allows users to report overdoses without any legal penalties, all in an effort to reverse the growing heroin problem in the state.
The real tragedy about how many deaths we were seeing on a monthly basis, the equivalent of almost 22 a month. And that's a shocking figure.
The new law also authorizes more use of anti-overdose drugs and allows communities the option of setting up needle exchange programs. The governor says he did not want to waste any time on this issue and that he wanted to sign this bill first thing in the morning. In Frankfort, Sam Smith, WKYT.
And funds are also available to help infants born addicted to heroin.
Also in Frankfort today, Governor Beshear announced the details of a $19.9 million grant awarded to the state for a pilot program in southeastern Kentucky. The goal of the program is to help Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, participants find jobs and work towards self-sufficiency. Kentucky is one of 10 states chosen to share in the $200 million in competitive awards from the USDA to support the initiative.
We're not talking about training for the sake of training. We're talking about training people for jobs.
The Department of Community-Based Services, an agency of the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, applied for the grant for their pilot project, Paths to Promise. The department will oversee the project, which will target resources in the southeastern region of Kentucky.
Unfortunately, it happens again and again. An elderly widow becomes the target of con men who steal her life savings. Now, there's one important piece of information that could prevent you or someone you love from suffering a similar fate.
I have lost $344,000, and that's all the money I had.
This 80-year-old widow says she's looking for work because she lost her life savings in a lottery sweepstakes scam.
They had found my name, had been entered in a contest or something, and that I had won this money.
She was asked to pay the processing fees, but one payment was not enough. They continued calling her for days, weeks, and then years.
These people were friendly, and they'd call me every day, and they knew my cat's names.
The con men quickly learned Jolene was a widow and had no local family.
This is what you'd find amazing about these people who are so vicious in some ways. He went home every weekend and cooked a Sunday dinner for his mother.
The losses are not just financial, they are psychological.
It's been very lonely, and that's one thing I sort of attribute to all this happening.
Even when Jolene was out of money, the con artist found a way to use her.
The crooks used her as a vehicle to scam other people. And so they sent her counterfeit checks written off of valid bank accounts, and then they directed her as to how to write them, where to send them.
The recipients believed they were receiving part of their lottery winnings. Postal inspectors have some simple advice.
If someone contacts you and says you've won the lottery or that you've won $1 million sweepstakes, and all you have to do is send in the taxes and fees, it's a scam. Hang up on them.
I don't care how beautiful they make it sound, or how perfect, or how real it is. It's not. Just don't do it.
A warning from postal inspectors: no legitimate lottery will ever ask for money up front.
A famous Kentuckian will speak at Berea College's graduation ceremony. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, what she's getting in return.
I'm Bill Bryant. Governor Beshear is looking over the bills passed by the last scheduled legislative session of his time in office. And there could be a special alcohol vote later this year in a central Kentucky town. The bottom line is ahead.